Expression for magnetic field. Expression for magnetic field in terms of frequency of oscillation, period of oscillation and angular frequency. Once again, what is F here? Frequency. What is T? Period of oscillation. And omega is the angular frequency. So, we are relating this magnetic field with these three physical quantities. Now, let us consider a uniform magnetic field. Already it is told uniform magnetic field can be represented by the equispaced parallel arrows. So, this is the uniform magnetic field I am taking, considering it is uniform magnetic field. Now, I am assuming or I am considering a magnetic needle, a small magnetic needle, tiny magnetic needle has been placed, tiny magnetic needle it is placed. I am considering this is south pole, this is north pole. So, therefore, what you can observe, the magnetic moment will be of this magnetic needle. There is a magnetic moment, it is a vector, say it is from south pole to north pole in this way. So, this is say angle theta is the angle between the magnetic field vector and the magnetic moment vector. It is theta is that angle. Now, the restoring torque, I am considering it as with the symbol tau or restoring torque. Restoring torque means it is the torque which is trying to restore the needle in the direction of magnetic field. Restore the needle in the direction of magnetic field, that is restoring torque. The restoring torque is given by the relation. As we say, we have seen in case of electric field. In electric field, we had similar formula: torque is equal to P E sin theta, or in the vector form, it is vector P cross vector E, P E sin theta or vector P cross vector E. So, I am considering the magnitude here. Instead of P, I have to consider M, instead of E, I have to consider B, M B sin theta. Where is sin theta, you say? Theta is the angle between magnetic moment vector and magnetic field vector. It is sine of that angle. So, it is restoring torque. Now, the deflecting torque, which is trying to deflect the needle away from the magnetic field, the deflecting torque. The deflecting torque I am representing it as tau d, where it is equal to I into alpha. What is I? I is taken as moment of inertia. I is not current here, remember, I is what? Moment of inertia. So, I into alpha. What is alpha? Alpha is angular acceleration. Angular acceleration. Okay. Now, we can observe this restoring torque and deflecting torque, they are equal and opposite. If they are equal and opposite, then what happens? Then the needle comes to equilibrium. Therefore, you will consider that case like this. For equilibrium, the restoring torque is equal to minus deflecting torque. What is this negative sign indicates? Negative sign indicates that the restoring torque and deflecting torque are in opposite direction. So, what you can write therefore, mb sin theta is equal to minus I alpha. Therefore, what is alpha equal to? Alpha is equal to minus I by mb into I by mb here. Alpha is equal to, or I can write the expression for, okay, alpha is better, I by mb, alpha is equal to, minus mb by I into sin theta. Alpha is equal to minus, here sin, minus mb by I sin theta. For small angle theta in radian, what you can write, sin theta is approximately equal to theta, because we are considering this theta in radians. That is very important. When theta is in radian, for small angle theta, sin theta is equal to theta. Therefore, alpha is equal to minus mb by I into theta. Let it be equation number 1. You studied in first PU. For simple harmonic oscillation or simple harmonic motion, angular acceleration is also given by the formula minus omega square theta for simple harmonic oscillation. So, here it is needle is undergoing simple harmonic oscillation if you think. So, we can have the similar expression here, therefore, you can equate 1 and 2. Therefore, what you can write, minus mb by I theta is equal to minus omega square theta. We can cancel theta, therefore, what is b is equal to omega square into I divided by m. Magnetic field B is equal to omega square into I divided by m. So, what is this? This is the relation between, it is relation between magnetic field and angular frequency. Omega is what? Omega is angular frequency. We know omega is equal to 2 pi f. Omega is equal to 2 pi f. What is f? F is frequency. So, we will substitute here. Therefore, what is B is equal to 2 pi f whole square into I divided by m. So, what you are getting, B is equal to 4 pi square f square into I divided by m. So, this is what? This is the relation between magnetic field and frequency. That is, magnetic field is expressed in terms of frequency of oscillation. Now, use one more formula, that is a relation between frequency and time period. Relation between frequency and time period. F is equal to 1 by T. Use it here, what you are getting, therefore, B is equal to, what is T? T is period of oscillation. So, frequency is the reciprocal of time period. So, B is equal to 4 pi square into I divided by m t square. This is the expression for T B in terms of, that is, relation between B and T. So, this is the way in which you can obtain the relation between magnetic field and frequency, magnetic field and period of oscillation, magnetic field and the angular frequency. Now, from these expressions, first, using B is equal to 4 pi square I divided by m t square. What you can write, t square is equal to, t square can be written as 4 pi square I divided by m b. Therefore, what is t? T will be equal to, taking square root, 2 pi into root of I by m b. This is the formula for period of oscillation of a magnetic needle in the uniform magnetic field. So, what is the expression for frequency? Frequency will be equal to reciprocal of time period. So, it will be 1 by 2 pi into root of m b by I. What is the expression for angular frequency? What is the expression for angular frequency? Angular frequency is equal to 2 pi f. Angular frequency will be, omega will be equal to 2 pi f. So, 2 pi cancels. So, what do you get? Omega will be equal to m b divided by I. Omega is given by this relation. So, these are the relation for period of oscillation and frequency and angular frequency. When a magnetic needle of moment of inertia I suspended in a magnetic field, uniform magnetic field of strength B. So, these are the very useful relations for solving the problems. Okay. Now, let us go to the potential energy. Potential energy. Magnetic potential energy. Magnetic potential energy of a magnetic needle in the magnetic field, uniform magnetic field. What is magnetic potential energy? Is the amount of work done to rotate a magnetic needle or rotate a magnet from 0 energy to 0 energy. From 0 energy it should start and to the desired. So, for this process how much work is done? That work done is stored as magnetic potential energy. So, let us consider the formula for torque. Torque is given by, this is magnetic torque, the torque is given by the formula mb sin theta. Mb sin theta is the torque. Now, this is the uniform magnetic field. Uniform magnetic field Now this is the magnetic needle. So torque acting on the magnetic needle, say this is north pole, this is south pole, this angle is taken as theta. So torque acting is given by this formula mb sin theta. Now if you want to deflect this magnetic needle further by an angle d theta, to deflect the needle, magnetic needle further by an angle d theta, further by an angle d theta, work is to be done. Now that work done, dW, you will take that as dW, that work done will be equal to torque into d theta. You are going to deflect, see, work done is equal to force into displacement in case of linear motion. So here for angular motion, this is rotational motion, it is torque, instead of force it must be moment of force, that is torque into, instead of displacement you have angular displacement d theta. So work done is equal to torque into d theta. Therefore total work done to rotate the needle from angle say theta 1 to theta 2, some angles we will take theta 1 and theta 2. It will be W is equal to integration of dW limits from theta 1 to theta 2. What is dW? dW is equal to torque into d theta. So we will substitute dW as torque into d theta and limits once again theta 1 to theta 2. Now we will substitute for torque. Torque is equal to mb sin theta d theta. This is from theta 1 to theta 2. Now you will take m and b, because b is uniform, m is the magnetic dipole moment, you will take m and b constant. So you will get W is equal to mb integration of sin theta d theta from theta 1 to theta 2. We saw the expression now, W is equal to mb integration of sin theta d theta, the limits of theta 1 to theta 2. Okay, now integrating, so what you get, W is equal to mb integration of sin theta is minus cos theta from theta 1 to theta 2. Okay, now it is mb minus sin is here, cos theta 2 minus cos theta 1. So it will be mb cos theta 1 minus cos theta 2. Now this is the work done. If you just multiply this mb cos theta 1 minus mb cos theta 2. What is mb cos theta 1? mb cos theta 1 is the initial energy and mb cos theta 2 is the energy at the desired position. What we wrote here, magnetic potential energy is the amount of work done to rotate a magnetic needle from 0 energy. So mb cos theta 1, we will make it as 0 energy. By what way you can make it as 0 energy? By substituting theta 1 is equal to 90 degree. Say desired, this is 0 energy. 0 energy is obtained by, right, by substituting theta 1 is equal to 90 degree, and desired position say theta 2 is equal to theta. Therefore, what is W is equal to mb cos 90 minus cos theta. So, it will be equal to minus mb cos theta, since cos 90 is equal to 0. So, what is the work done is equal to minus mb cos theta. This work done is stored as potential energy, say U. Therefore, potential energy is equal to minus mb cos theta. This is the formula for potential energy of a magnetic needle. Potential energy stored in a magnetic needle. So, it is U is equal to minus mb cos theta. When it is deflected to an angle theta, you are getting this potential energy. Now, we will take special cases. First case, if theta is equal to 0, what is potential energy? Will be equal to minus mb. Second case, if theta is equal to 90 degree, then what is U? Potential energy will be equal to 0. If theta is equal to 180 degree, then what is the potential energy? Will be equal to mb. So, which is the maximum potential energy? You can see this is the maximum potential energy. This is what? Minimum potential energy. So, what do you call this is? Stable equilibrium, and this is called unstable equilibrium. So, you can see that the potential energy, when it is maximum, it is called unstable equilibrium. When potential energy is minimum, it is called stable equilibrium. So, this is how you can discuss about the potential energy of a dipole, placed in the uniform magnetic field. Next, Gauss law in magnetism. Gauss law in magnetism. We have already seen Gauss law in electrostatics. Gauss law, what is studied in electrostatics? What you studied in electrostatics? Gauss law. The total magnetic flux of any closed surface in vacuum is 1 by epsilon naught times the total charge enclosed within the surface. So, that is what you studied in electrostatics. Now, when you come to this magnetism, what is the statement of Gauss law? Gauss law, the total magnetic flux, instead of electric flux, now you have to study magnetic flux. Total magnetic flux of any closed surface is always equal to 0. Total magnetic flux of any closed surface is always equal to 0. Total, just to instead of total you can take net also. Net magnetic flux of any closed surface, total or net magnetic flux of any closed surface is equal to 0. Now, magnetic flux, as you studied earlier, it is denoted by phi b, magnetic flux. So, it is equal to 0 for any closed surface. So, magnetic flux, what is the formula for magnetic flux? You already studied. Magnetic flux is given by the formula B delta S cos theta, or it is the dot product between magnetic field vector and area vector. So, I am considering here it is total. Total means I can take integration of B dot delta S. It is of any closed surface. I am considering this closed surface. Okay. So, it is equal to what it is told, this is equal to 0. Total magnetic flux of any closed surface is equal to 0. Now, why it comes to 0? Because as you studied, say there is a magnetic dipole. The magnetic dipole, this is north pole, this is south pole. As you have seen here, the magnetic field lines, here it is emerging, here it is inward. So, how many lines are emerging? Those many lines are inward, means the total flux will be 0. Total flux, magnetic field lines passing normally through the given area will be 0. That is why the total magnetic flux will be 0, net magnetic flux will be 0. This is what is the statement what is given by Gauss law. Next, so we have studied several things here relating these all things. I can say it is something like a conclusion. We can take a small conclusion in which we can see the comparison between electric field and magnetic field. A small comparison between electric field and magnetic field. Very interesting to note. So, analogy between electric field and magnetic field. Okay, what I will consider first symbol. What is the symbol for electric field? What is the symbol for magnetic field? You already studied all these things, just one small glance, so that you will understand and you will remember it better. Okay. Symbol what we use, and then the expressions, everything we can conclude here. The symbol for electric field vector, it is E vector, magnetic field vector is B vector. Okay. After the symbol what we use, we will go to one by one. The flux in electric field we consider it as phi, in magnetic field we consider it as phi B. The phi is given by the formula E dot delta S. Here it is therefore B dot delta S. So, here it is E delta S cos theta, here it is B delta S cos theta. Magnetic flux and electric flux. So, I have written here it is flux, but when you come to this column you should take it as electric flux. When you come to this column it is taken as magnetic flux. So, electric flux here, magnetic flux here. Next, the torque. Torque in electric field is given by the formula P E sin theta, or in the vector form it is a cross product between dipole moment vector and magnetic field vector. Here the torque of the magnetic field is, instead of P you should take M, and instead of E it is B, M B sin theta, M B sin theta. So, it can be in the vector form, this torque, magnetic torque, it is vector M cross vector B. Look at this one, P is electric dipole moment, M is magnetic dipole moment, E electric field strength, this is magnetic field strength. So, what is the symbol for dipole moment. Dipole moment. Dipole moment here, what is the symbol it is? P. What is the symbol here it is? Magnetic moment, M. Magnetic dipole moment it is. This is electric dipole moment. What is the formula for electric dipole moment? It will be equal to Q into 2A. What is 2A is? Dipole, electric dipole length. So, here it is magnetic pole strength, you can call it as, into 2L. What is 2L is the magnetic length. Okay. We will continue this. What is the few more expressions you can use in this column? Magnetic field. Or you can say it is a field due to dipole. Field due to dipole at a point on axis. What is the formula? Field due to a short dipole, you can say a short dipole. Field due to a short dipole at a point on the axis. In electric field, it is the formula, I will consider only the magnitude. E is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught into, at a point on the axis it is 2 p by r cube. What is the expression for magnetic field? It is mu naught by 4 pi into 2 m by r cube. So, field due to a short dipole, once again magnetic field due to short dipole, at a point on equatorial line. On the equatorial line, what is the formula to be written here? On the equatorial line, what is the formula for electric field? 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught into p by r cube. What is the formula for magnetic field? Mu naught by 4 pi into m by r cube. Next, it is potential energy. Potential energy. What is the expression for potential energy of electric dipole is minus P E cos theta. What is the formula for potential energy of magnetic dipole is minus, instead of P you have to take m B then cos theta. So, look at the similarities. How many similarities you are getting? The relations are going very similar, like electric field and magnetic fields, both are giving you similar relations. So, how to remember therefore? You just study the relations in the electric field first. These relations will be slowly, it can be converted into the magnetic field relations, so that it is very easy to learn and it gives you more confidence while learning. Untali. Now, in magnetism and matter, we are going to take the second part, it is terrestrial magnetism. Terrestrial magnetism is the study of magnetic field of earth. Study of the magnetic field of earth. Terrestrial magnetism, what you call it as. So, in the magnetic study of magnetic field of earth, first of all it is imagined, nobody has concluded it, but it is imagined that earth has a huge magnet inside it. So, that is why earth also produces magnetic field. The earth's magnetic field, it is experimentally studied, the strength of earth's magnetic field of the order of 10 to the power of minus 5 Tesla. Tesla is denoted by capital T, that is the symbol. So, strength of the earth's magnetic field is of the order of 10 to the power of minus 5 Tesla. So, it is given in different numbers, but the order is 10 to the power of minus 5 Tesla, and it is spread out, that magnetic field spread out for several thousand kilometers, several thousand kilometers. So, it is considered to be a huge area surrounding the earth. For the large area, this magnetic field exists. Now, just come to the study of this magnetic field. Imagine this is earth, and I am considering this is geographic axis of the earth. Geographic axis of the earth, I am considering this is geographic north here and geographic south here. Geographic north GN I have written, geographic south GS. Okay. Now, this is the geographic axis of the earth, that is the imaginary line passing through geographic north and geographic south. You consider the magnetic axis of the earth. Look at the magnetic axis of the earth. So, the magnetic axis of the earth, this is the magnetic north, this is magnetic south, magnetic south. But just imagine how the magnetic field lines. In the ordinary magnet, what you have seen, the magnetic field lines are emerging from north pole. In the earth magnet, it is not like that. Just you see, the magnetic field lines are always inward into the south pole. No, in the ordinary bar magnet it is like that, but in the earth magnet, here in the north pole it is inward like this. In the north pole, near the north pole, the magnetic field lines are inward, and in the south pole they are emerging. Why this type of behavior we have seen on the earth magnet? This type of behavior is seen because the suspended magnet, as it is told, the suspended magnet always comes to rest by itself along the geographic north south. The pole of the suspended magnet towards geographic north is called north pole. Pole of the suspended magnet towards geographic south is called south pole. So, the pole of the suspended magnet must be attracted by the magnetic north of the earth. So, here it should be, the lines should be, there it is north pole is outward from north pole, here it should be inward, that is why it attracts. So, suspended magnet will remain almost in the direction of geographic north south. Now, suspending a magnet, this is very important in the study here. Suspending a magnet means it can be suspended in two ways. You can imagine that. How it can be suspended in two ways? You can just imagine the case of a fan, a ceiling fan, how it is suspended, and a table fan. A ceiling fan having vertical axis and it is rotating in the horizontal plane, whereas the table fan is suspended in the horizontal axis and rotating in the vertical plane. Just imagine a magnet here suspended like a ceiling fan. Imagine magnet is suspended like a ceiling fan, means where the axis is vertical and the plane of rotation is horizontal. It is horizontally. Now, I am suspending a magnetic needle. If you suspend a magnetic needle in the vertical axis to rotate in the horizontal plane, it comes to rest along magnetic north south of the earth, along the magnetic axis. So, where is magnetic axis of the earth? So, this is the magnetic axis of the earth. So, the magnetic needle suspended always comes to rest along the magnetic axis. Magnetic needle bar magnet suspended to rotate in the horizontal plane, about the vertical axis it should be suspended, then it comes to rest along the magnetic axis. Now, we have some of the terms called. What is magnetic axis? You have already seen. It is the imaginary straight line passing along magnetic north south, and geographic north south axis. Geographic axis is the imaginary straight line passing through the geographic north south. It is geographic north south, here it is magnetic north south. So, what you can observe, there is a small angle. What is the angle between the geographic axis and magnetic axis? This angle is around 11.3 degrees. This angle, it is almost a small angle, but is at the center small angle, it is not at the perimeter of this or at the surface or on the surface of the earth. This angle to be seem very large, but here it is small angle subtended between the two axes, geographic axis and magnetic axis of the earth, that is around 11.3 degrees. Now, we have two more terms here. One is called geographic meridian. Geographic meridian. What is geographic meridian? Next one is magnetic meridian. There are two important terms here, geographic meridian and magnetic meridian. What is geographic meridian? Geographic meridian is a vertical plane. Geographic meridian is a vertical plane. Vertical plane means a plane like walls, vertical plane, but that vertical plane is passing or containing the geographic axis. Geographic meridian is a vertical plane, imaginary vertical plane containing geographic axis, and the magnetic meridian is a vertical plane containing the magnetic axis. Once again, there is an imaginary magnetic meridian. Magnetic meridian is the imaginary vertical plane containing magnetic axis. So, geographic axis and magnetic axis, those two are the imaginary lines, they are lying on the geographic meridian and magnetic meridian. So, here what you can observe, usually you get the Earth's equator. This is called geographic equator. Geographic equator is perpendicular to geographic axis. Now, we have to imagine magnetic equator. This is magnetic equator. Look at these two planes, geographic equator and magnetic meridian. A magnetic equator, there is small angle between these two equators also. Between these two equators also there is a small angle. Okay. Now, terrestrial magnetism means it is a study of Earth's magnetic field. This study of Earth's magnetic fields can be done by using three elements, what you call them as Earth's magnetic elements. The study of the Earth's magnetism, terrestrial magnetism means study of magnetic field of Earth. So, study of this Earth's magnetism can be completed when you study these Earth's magnetic elements. Which are the magnetic elements of the Earth? First one is magnetic declination. Second one is magnetic inclination. Magnetic declination is denoted by D, magnetic inclination is denoted by I. So, magnetic inclination is also called as magnetic dip, and the third Earth's magnetic element is horizontal component of Earth's magnetic field. Earth's magnetic field, it is denoted by horizontal component of Earth's magnetic field, denoted by He, horizontal component of Earth's magnetic field, He. These are called three Earth's magnetic elements. These three Earth's magnetic elements, they are used to completely to study the Earth's magnetism. We will just take one by one. What is the meaning of D? What is D? First one is definition of declination. Definition of declination. Declination is the angle between the geographic meridian and magnetic meridian. Angle between geographic meridian and magnetic meridian. I will consider here, this is geographic meridian, this is magnetic meridian. Angle between geographic meridian and magnetic meridian is called declination, and it is denoted as D. Then what is inclination? Definition of inclination. Definition of inclination. Inclination is the angle between the total magnetic field of the earth. I am considering BE. BE is what? Total magnetic field of the earth. Angle between this total magnetic field of earth and horizontal component of Earth's magnetic field. Horizontal component of Earth's magnetic field, it is here. Total magnetic field of the earth is BE, that is definition of I. HE, as it is told here, it is a horizontal component of the total magnetic field. So, angle inclination is the angle between the total magnetic field of the earth and horizontal component of the Earth's magnetic field. Now, let us try to understand better this declination and inclination, or all the three Earth's magnetic elements, how exactly they can be represented. Just imagine a cube here. Imagine a cube. This is very interesting cube, which will make you to understand the things better here. Just draw a cube. I will draw the back side face also. Just imagine here, this is the diagonal of the top end face. Diagonal of the top end face. This is the diagonal of the cube. This is the top square face it is, and this is the diagonal of the cube I am taking. Diagonal of the cube means one corner of the front face and lower back corner of the back face, lower back corner of the back face, opposite, it is diagonal of a cube. Now, the total magnetic field of the earth, what I have denoted as BE, already I have denoted it as BE, that BE will be along the diagonal of the cube. And where is the horizontal component for that? The horizontal component of the Earth's magnetic field is here. Horizontal component of the Earth's magnetic field, HE, is here, horizontal component of the Earth's magnetic field, and here it is the vertical component of the Earth's magnetic field, ZE. What is the angle between the total magnetic field of the earth and the horizontal component of the Earth's magnetic field? This angle is angle of inclination, that is I. Angle between the total magnetic field of the earth and the horizontal component of the Earth's magnetic field. What is this angle? Is taken as inclination here, magnetic inclination, and is denoted by I. And where is declination? Declination is the angle between the geographic meridian. Declination is the angle between the geographic meridian and magnetic meridian. So, geographic meridian is here. Geographic meridian is here. This is the direction, and this is what you call it as true north. True north, just true north direction. This angle is to be called declination, is the angle between the true north and the magnetic meridian, or it is the angle between the geographic meridian and magnetic meridian. Look at this one. This is geographic meridian. This is magnetic meridian. It is a vertical plane containing magnetic axis, and this is the vertical plane containing geographic axis. Geographic axis is along true north-south direction. Geographic meridian is in this direction. This is the magnetic meridian actually. Angle between the magnetic meridian and geographic meridian is called declination. Angle between the total magnetic field of the earth and the horizontal component of the Earth's magnetic field is called inclination. And you can see this one, horizontal component of the Earth's magnetic field here. This is the vertical component of the Earth's magnetic field. Therefore, what you can write, horizontal component of Earth's magnetic field is equal to, it is the horizontal component of total magnetic field. So, we can write it as HE is equal to BE cos I, and what is ZE? It is a vertical component of the Earth's magnetic field. It will be equal to BE sin I. Therefore, what is the expression for BE? Total magnetic field of the Earth's magnetic field, BE. Total magnetic field of the Earth's magnetic field, BE, can be equal to square root of HE square plus ZE square. Also, what is the relation for I, inclination? When you divide these two relations, 1 by 2 or 2 by 1, what is this 2 by 1 implies? 2 by 1 ZE divided by HE. What is ZE? Vertical component of the Earth's magnetic field. What is HE? Horizontal component of the Earth's magnetic field. So, ZE by HE, ZE by HE will be equal to sin I divided by cos I. Sin I divided by cos I. What is sin I divided by cos I? Is equal to tan I. Therefore, tan I is equal to ZE divided by HE. Therefore, I, inclination I is equal to tan inverse of ZE divided by HE. This is the expression for angle of inclination, or it is the inclination, or it is magnetic dip. This is also called magnetic dip. Okay. So, this is how the three magnetic elements, magnetic declination, magnetic inclination and horizontal component of the Earth's magnetic field are introduced. With the help of this horizontal component of Earth's magnetic field, then that is ZE, HE, then dip, magnetic dip and magnetic declination. Using these three, you can study the complete magnetic field of the Earth. Stop. Use the relation HE, that is horizontal component of the Earth's magnetic field, is equal to BE cos I. You know, I is inclination. If I is equal to 0, then HE is equal to BE. I is equal to 0 means dip, magnetic dip is equal to 0. Magnetic dip is equal to 0. If magnetic dip is 0, then HE is equal to BE, means it is magnetic field will be maximum. Okay. Now, if I is equal to 90 degree, means dip, magnetic dip is equal to 90 degree, then what is HE? HE, it is cos 90, therefore, HE will be equal to 0, because cos 90 is 0. So, this is one of the observation. So, what you can conclude from this? If theta is equal to 0, then it is maximum, that is, if theta is equal to 0 means, that is, sorry, I is equal to 0 means it is at equator. So, at equator, therefore, you can say dip is 0. So, here at poles dip is 90 degree. So, magnetic dip is maximum at poles and magnetic dip is minimum at the equator. So, this is the conclusion. Magnetic dip is 0 at equator and magnetic dip is 90 degree at pole. What about the Z, that is HE? What about HE? At the equator, HE, that is horizontal component of Earth's magnetic field, is maximum, and at the poles horizontal component of the Earth's magnetic field is 0. So, we can have a small column here. To study this, we will make use of a small column. Look at this column. Okay. Now, here you can say this is the dip, magnetic dip, it is I, and this is the horizontal component of Earth's magnetic field. Horizontal or we can consider, okay, horizontal component of Earth's magnetic field. We will consider the position here. First one at the equator, second one at the pole. At the equator, look at this, at the equator, dip is, that is inclination is 0 and the horizontal magnetic field, it become maximum at the equator. At the pole, dip will be equal to 90 degree at the pole and horizontal magnetic field will become 0. Look at that. It is very important for 1 marks. Many times it is asked this what is the magnetic, what is the declination or magnetic dip at the pole? It is 90 degree. What is the magnetic dip at the equator? 0. Where is the maximum magnetic dip? The magnetic dip is maximum at the pole. So, this type of questions can be answered by using this table.